Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and should we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where in this episode we will not be doing Happy Home Paradise in this episode. The Happy Home Paradise customization I'll be doing in this episode will be going up in about a week's time because I mentioned it a few times before. The days from the 3rd to the 8th of December I will kind of not be here. I mean, I'm kind of here on the 3rd of May, but you know, I'm going to be a little bit tired because I'm going on a little trip away from 4th to 7th. So those episodes are going to be pre-recorded. Luckily with Happy Home Paradise, it actually makes sense to, not make sense, but there's actually stuff to pre-record, I suppose, in Animal Crossing now. So, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 3:34pm on Saturday, November 27, 2021. It's another lovely Saturday, and KK is performing in the plaza. He loves audience requests, so we'll do that if we remember. If we don't, then so be it. Actually, we can't even, it's far too early, but still. But yeah, so we're just sort of going to vibe out. We're just going to have our usual, like, sort of chatty conversation, I suppose, that we used to have back in some of the older episodes of Animal Crossing. I don't really know what to talk about. It's incredibly windy today. I don't know if you can particularly hear it. I recorded some on the Will of Wisps, and I just kept getting surprised at how windy it was. We have had this one before, Jolly Red. Thank you very much for your... I believe this is another fake painting, if I recall, but I'm not really sure. Dodo Airlines, thank you for giving us some DL merch, which we will probably never use, unfortunately, but, you know, that just do be how it is sometimes. Is the music kind of laggy right now? Is it like... Maybe that's just my OBS, or is it my frame rate dropping? I don't know. Perhaps it's because I got stuff open in the background. I've got Clip Studio painting some drawings. I guess I could close it. You know, so you deselect whatever's going on. Save what you're working on, close it. Is that better? No, it still looks a little bit choppy. I don't really know what's up with that. But unfortunately, I don't really have much else open. I guess I'm uploading a YouTube video. That doesn't normally affect it. A Notepad? Notepad doesn't normally do much. Yeah, I don't know. We sort of just had to roll with it, and hopefully it's not so choppy on your end. It's just a little... It looks a little bit choppy on my end, but perhaps it isn't. Oh yes, this one's definitely fake. Because it is too big. But yeah, well, what I've been up today, I played some Will of Wisps. They're not particularly eventful episodes, I would say. It's I got stuck for about like the first third in one of them, and the other third has a very anticlimactic ending, a very weird ending. But you'll see them come halfway through December, or you won't, I suppose. Depends kind of if you're watching them or not, I suppose. In the first place, what was happening recently? Yesterday, some friends started watching the first 3 episodes of Arcane. I'm not really going to talk about that until I've actually watched all of Arcane, so I can sort of say my overall sort of thought process on it. All I'm going to say now, without spoiling anything, it's really good. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I especially love the animations. The characters, just to say a small piece on it, the characters are incredibly expressive, and they have a nice sort of balance between but they obviously aren't realistic. They have a cartoony style without looking uncanny with it. I'm not going to say a hint of realism, but like a hint of stylistic realism, perhaps might be a better way to put it. I'm not really sure, but it is lovely. If anything, I suppose it coincided because Batman Animation, a YouTuber, I do watch Raver. They released a video like a couple of days ago or something about animation, and you know, watching it made me be like, oh, I want to do some animation, but then it's like, oh, I got other stuff I need to be doing right now. I can't really be working on animation because animation takes a long time. Or I should say that rough animations don't take too long, but clean animations certainly take forever, and I'm not very good, but the only way to get better is to practice those things in the first place, and I do want to do some animations at some point. Like, I remember I talked about this ages ago, that I was looking on, like, how do I make, like, a VTube model? I think it'd be fun to make one of D. I looked into it, it certainly seems doable. I just need to actually get around to actually creating all the pieces of it in the first place, and downloading the software and actually rigging it up and everything. I'm not sure when I'd use it, to be perfectly honest. I guess we could experiment with using it in some games, see if it's a hit or not. I'd probably use it if I live stream, and I don't know if that's particularly something on the horizon for now or not. I don't know, there's so many things going on. Maybe that'll be a New Year's resolution, actually start live streaming. And it could be fun to watch. But it's difficult. But, oh god, it's so windy. Like, I look outside and it's so bleak. It's incredibly cloudy. Like, it's this complete cloud cover right now. No sunshine. It's like 3:30pm. It's incredibly grey and dark. It's like the start of like a Victorian, like, Charles Dickens novel or something. It was a rhymey morning. Well, it's not actually very rhymey, I'll be honest. Rhymey being like icy, and I only know that because it's like the opening words of like Great Expectations or something. And then we read a book for our English Literature GCSE called Mr. Pip, which is a book about the book Great Expectations. Kind of. Not like a review in the sense, it's more like how this book changed like a Pacific Island girl's life in good ways and bad ways, I suppose. Well, it's not really the book's fault, but it's more like just a kind of thing which happens, and you know, it's kind of a dark book. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I want to talk about Arcane, but obviously I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not actually going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about, I don't know, it's how gloomy it is, I suppose, outside. You know, there is a thing, you know, like a weather, it can not express your mood, but it can affect your mood and that sort of thing. And I suppose in the literature term, you know, there is a thing where like weather expresses your mood through like prophetic fallacy or whatever. Whatever situations, whether you might see going on outside will be the one that sort of reflects your inner thoughts and turmoil, etc., etc. Which, by the way, a thing which is used a lot in Mr. Pip, that book we read for English. If I recall, Matilda, it was really stormy when Matilda was like upset or something. I don't know. It escapes me, to be honest, right now. But weather seems to died down a bit, but it is incredibly gloomy. Like it's so gloomy that I turned my light on. Like, well, I turned my light on about like an hour ago or something, like 2:30. Not something you particularly aim to do, though. I don't actually get all that much light in my room, just because of the way the thing, like the house is arranged. My window goes out to like the south, I think. I'm not sure actually if it's the south or not, but so the light never really directly shines in, only sometimes during the late evening. Well, no, not late evening, like afternoon nowadays, I suppose. The light comes in and it shines directly on my computer monitor. Just because of the arrangement I have currently on my window. Not really well, I mean, there's stuff I can do about it. I can like put my desk in a different place, but, you know, I'd rather it be next to the window and have some sort of lightness, I suppose, come to pass. It's a very sort of weird sort of blue tint. It certainly makes me feel like it's winter. I mean, it almost is winter. We're nearly into the first couple of days of December, and well, I'm not sure when y'all personally think December starts on the 1st, unsurprisingly. Oh, hello, Rossetti. You're always here. Oh, looky here, you again. We keep bumping into each other. I can say the same to you. Don't mind if I'm eating or taking a bath or catching a few Z's. When duty calls, I'm on duty. I got my big brother watching the shop while I'm here getting my daily dose of Java. Wait, oh yeah, what shop do you run now? Yeah, I'll be bringing a cup back for him. He'd never let me hear the end of it if I didn't. It seems like new dialogue. Hey, I don't mean to butt in, but keep all your devices charged, for safety's sake. Got it? Nothing like a cup of Java. Okay, whoa. This seems like the same sort of dialogue from before. So I'll have a chat with Brewster. Absolutely, Brewster. Fill me up. Yeah, I don't know when you personally think winter starts, but I suppose mentally I always think it starts on 1st of December. Actually, when does winter officially start? I suppose this year. Let's see. I don't know why my Google Chrome opened on this side. First day of winter. 21st of December? What? That feels so late. That's not until like a month's time. It's already so cold. It's like 5 degrees today or something around where I live, which is I mean, that's not like you don't be like, oh man, that's utterly freezing, but it's sort of like it's like, oh man, it's actually getting into the colder months now or something. But I'm still like dressing as if it's in like, I'm not dressing like it's in the warmer months. I'm not crazy. I'm not wearing like a t-shirt and shorts or a skirt or anything like that. Oh, hello, Timmy or Tommy. I don't really have to tell you apart, to be honest. It'd be cool if Nintendo give you a little slight difference. Apart from just, you know, Tommy has a high voice. Hello, dear. Come in here for some coffee was just what I needed. But what was I saying? Yeah, I'm dressing still like it's a mild autumn, you know. Got a turtleneck on. To be fair, I do have like a sort of, not a thermal layer underneath. It's one of these like Uniqlo things, which sort of like is an additional layer, which is not meant to be all that thick, which you can wear underneath your clothes just to sort of warm you up. I'm wearing leggings, which, you know, perhaps isn't the greatest thing to keep you warm, and I don't got socks on, I'll be perfectly honest. It's not like I have an aversion to socks. I actually do like socks quite a lot. Long socks, very fun to wear. But I'm not wearing them right now because, you know, I just don't, you know, it feels more liberating, I suppose, when you're at home, but you don't particularly want to. Anything, we don't have anything to donate to you blabbers, because I believe this is a fake painting. But no, as the days are getting much colder, the nights are drawing in. It's sort of like, when do you make that sort of transition, I suppose, with your clothes? From being like, okay, you know, it's the same thing when it comes from summer into autumn, or like spring into summer, or like winter into summer. When do you make that transition out to be like, I've got to start wearing different clothes that actually matches the weather? Because I suppose, I'm not going to say I'm a creature of habit, but certainly to a certain extent I'm not going to say I resist change, but I sort of keep the status quo. I'm quite sort of not ambivalent, but also word, like I don't really react much, I suppose, to temperature changes in the first place. So really, I don't really notice, you know, if I'm like, not like if I'm overheating or something, but like the clothes I'm wearing, be like, oh, you know, I'm wearing what would be, the average person would be like, this is a couple maybe layers too, maybe not a couple, like maybe one layer of thickness too many compared to what a regular person might necessarily wear. You know, I would bet that I would change my like seasonal outfits, like perhaps 3 weeks or something later than the average person does. I know it's not quite like that clear cut and dry. It's not like people have like, oh, this is something I only wear in summer, this is something I only wear in spring, and you know, seasons kind of get like muddled together, and there's more just like an official arbitrary human invention we have for seasons to. Well, actually, I'm not really sure why we have seasons. I suppose it's just nice to have a sort of delineation, some sort of grouping. We should start putting Lily of the Valleys on this side. I never really thought about that until just this very instant. Yeah, I suppose it's not particularly important that we have a seasons change in the first place, but it's always a little bit ambiguous where your one wardrobe starts and the other ends. I suppose we should also customize the tools. I don't know when the last time we have it, so certainly don't want them to break anytime soon. And honestly, it would just be comedic at this point if it broke now. But we certainly haven't used our net or fishing rod in ages, so I wouldn't really worry about that too much. I don't know, it's weirdly gloomy. It's sort of like you see this, like, if you look outside my window right now, and you would be like, oh, you know, if you saw the shot in a movie, you'd be like, oh, someone like just died or something, like, this is the sad scene we put on or something straight after some very tragic event has happened, or they're trying to give a really foreboding atmosphere. When really, it's honestly just particularly fine, it's just kind of cold. You know? Just a very sort of weird bluey grey tint to it. To everything. You ever wonder why the sky's blue? Let me tell you. I don't really remember the exact answer, but it's something about refraction of water droplets in the atmosphere, and like it prefers the refraction. It refracts better of like shorter wavelengths, or something like that. And thus, that is why blue ends up being the colour of the sky, because of those water droplets in the atmosphere. But then the follow-up question, I suppose, becomes why isn't the sky purple? And then I don't really know the answer to that. Okay, I don't know why I tried to answer a physics question. I definitely don't know the answer to, but it's just, you know, mood language. You get me? Probably not, but that made no sense on its own. But like, you know, the sky being blue, and blue often being like a symbolic colour of sadness, and those sort of things, you know. Look no further than Inside Out, where sadness is coloration. Her coloration is very, very blue. Dabba-dee dabba-doo. Dabba-dee dabba-blue. Okay, I'm gonna stop that now. I can't remember where I was going with this. I know, I just think I just find it very interesting contrast of the very artificial, like, yellow light I've got inside. I suppose that's, of course, sorry to make this coconut sort of like fall on your head there, Vivian, but I suppose that's something to definitely keep in mind if you're an artist and you're trying to draw an artificial light setting or something on a much more natural light setting. Oh, actually I forgot, we need to chop a singular tree down. So let's use an actual axle this time. Chop, chop, chop. And the tree falls down. We should probably also harvest these Nook Mile missions before we and just in case there's like we need to plant one as our mission. Who have we not talked to villager wise for ages? I feel like there's a lot of villagers we haven't spoken to for a while, but so be it. I don't really know what to talk about. I haven't had to think about something to talk about for so long because of Happy Home Paradise. It just takes care of all conversation for me. Roomy. By the fact I don't even have to do conversations in the first place. It's just, you know, cold weather, gloomy weather, I suppose. Maybe that's what I'll talk about. What's the gloomiest weather I can remember? I don't know, because I often don't find rain all that gloomy in the first place. I quite like rain. As I say numerous times before. And often comes to incredulous replies being like, you like a rain? Does that mean like when it's raining you go outside and you sort of like dance around in rain? If I didn't have anything better to do, I suppose I would probably enjoy it more than the average person, but it's not like I particularly do that. It's not like when I'm going somewhere, I'm like, oh, you know, if I'm like going somewhere and I don't have an umbrella, I'm like, oh, I want it to rain really badly because I want to get like sopping wet or something. No, not really the case. It's more like when it's raining and I'm indoors, very nice. If I'm raining and it's outdoors and I've got like a raincoat on or an umbrella, or you know, it's not like the rain's not going to like inconvenience me all too heavily. Awesome, to be perfectly honest. We should actually not hit these all that much, because if I recall, we should go visit Katrina and see if she's got if her blessing is a blessing of fortune, because I believe if it's a blessing of fortune, we can hit rocks and we have a higher chance of golden ores spawning, which is not something I realised until I read it online, to be perfectly honest. So yeah. You know what? I just thought about, shouldn't we be checking the Nook shopping a bit more to see if the current KK Cider song is one we don't have? I never really thought about that until just now. Because if you don't know, the 2.0 update, about like 8 songs or something were released. New KK Cider songs were released, so perhaps we should pay a little bit more attention to that. I don't know. Gloomy weather, gloomy weather. I know, gloomy weather is just like a bit of a mood, isn't it? A nice mood. If you're inside, you know, curl up with a book, hot cup of tea or coffee, I suppose, depending which one you prefer, and get lost into your own fancy world. By the way, never done that. I'll be perfectly honest, because like a lot of places I've lived has not had that like nice little bench thing by like a window. Which, by the way, if I ever move into like my own place, that's certainly the thing I'd want the most, is like a little bench by the window, because I don't know, I'd love to sort of just like sit by there and relax in times that you particularly need to unwind, especially on a rainy day. But one of my university rooms certainly had that in, and I used to study by it sometimes when it rained, and just like perch by the window and like the heavy rainfall just hitting onto the window. We had like a nice little sort of like mini stream by the house and a bridge over the top, and sometimes you hear like people walk to and fro, people cycle across the bridge, and it was nice, it was relaxing, it was a mood. But it was also very cold, unsurprisingly, because you know how windows kind of make things cold. I'm not really sure how that particularly works. I suppose due to the fact that glass might conduct heat quite well, surprisingly, or maybe it retains heat quite well. I'm not sure. I always forget which way around it is. Maybe it's retain heat very well, so then like it doesn't give it off or something, or no, it absorbs it. I don't know, whatever. Either way, we have double glazing window. Double glazed windows quite commonly in the UK to make sure, you know, the heat gets sort of trapped inside the house rather than outside the house. You know, is certainly a blessing in these wintry days. You know, or if you're an American, you might not be aware, because as I believe in America, a lot of houses, the walls tend to be made of drywall or plasterboard. I don't really know the difference, to be honest. But in the UK, certainly, most of our houses tend to be kind of made of bricks. I'm not sure I can say if that's true for like the majority of houses. At least most houses that I've been in have been bricks. But to be fair, I have lived in not the countryside, but more rural areas, I suppose, and it might be different in London itself. I never really sort of knocked on the walls to check for some material they're made out of, but I'd assume they're mostly bricks. And I assume bricks are just sort of better insulation, sort of like keeping heat in. I don't actually know. I don't really know the sort of insulative properties of a lot of different materials. You're selling exactly the same forged painting. Are you insane, Red? What's wrong with you? Sorry. I don't need fake paintings, Red. I need real paintings. I need legitimate paintings. I need something that's going to make me go, wow, I need to donate this to my museum now. Let's talk to you. We'll put some stuff away. Corner. You know what we should do? We should say no thank you to see what happens if we reject his acorn. I haven't actually tried that. So let's put some stuff away back in our inventory that we don't particularly need. Yeah, that seems good. It'd be nice if we had a way to sell things on the side. Maybe we do. Maybe I just never realised. Talk to Sahara. See if you got anything particularly interesting. None of this really strikes out much of chord. I guess it's kind of nice. We'll buy it because we haven't bought things for a while from Sahara. Actually, we should buy 2 things because I forgot. One of our missions, I believe, is to spend 5,000 bells, right? Oh, you know what? That's probably good enough because we bought something from Red. I'll say the wind has very much stopped now. You definitely wouldn't have thunk it, huh? It was so strong before, but now it's just all of a sudden died down. If anything, isn't that kind of spooky? It's like it's plotting. It's waiting to strike. And for when you least expect it, bada bing, bada boom. It's a huge gale force will turn up. It really looks so depressing out there. It's like the worst of all worlds, because, you know, I'd imagine most people kind of like with sunny weather. They like it when it's bright, they can go out and do things. I don't mind rainy, and I like rainy weather. You know, the two factions, sunny weather, rainy weather. And then when it becomes like overcast day, gloomy weather, who ends up being pleased about that? I suppose people who sunburn easily or have some sort of like sunlight sensitivity. I guess that helps, maybe? I'm not really sure. Isn't it? The clouds don't stop all the UV rays, do they? So... In the dead of night, the president of Nook Inc. counts them one by one, not sheep, but bells. From this vision, I deduce that your luck with money will improve. So, we'll try that. We'll try hitting the rocks and see if we get golden ores and that sort of thing. If we do, fantastic. If we don't, then... oh well. Thank you, Katrina, for your blessing. We'll take this fortune's blessing and we'll... I don't know particularly what we'll do with it, but we'll do something. You've got my word for it. Wow, it's only been 20 minutes. How did we used to spend like half an hour just talking about nothing when we did actually nothing every single day in New Horizons? It's honestly miraculous, thinking back to it. Oh yeah, the gloomiest weather. What, I don't know. I suppose I don't really remember gloomy weathers all that well, particularly. I suppose the easier answer would be like when it's like wet play back in primary school. If you don't know what wet play is basically when recess is cancelled, to put it in American terms, because it's raining. So everyone has to sort of stay inside and play indoors, which gave birth to a fantastic children's song called Wet Play, which has been stuck in my head for probably my entire life, and will probably never leave. But if you're wondering how it goes, wet play, we can see how it rains and it pours today. I suppose we'll farm Nook Mart missions as well. In the dry, staying warm, we can stay wet play. Da 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 da. Can we play on the floor? Which, I suppose if you're not British, probably makes no sense to you whatsoever. Playing on the floor just means like, there's often this area in the classroom where it's cleared out, where it's just carpet, which is called the floor, I guess, or floor area. Sometimes there's like bookshelves and you can play stuff around it. I forget, we should definitely fish a bit more often so we can actually make these recipes, right? Or actually at least unlock them in the first place. No, you hear my stomach grumbling. I'll probably go grab a piece of fruit or something after I've done recording this episode. But yeah, we can play on the floor. I don't know, I don't think I ever found wet play all that, you know, discouraging, I suppose, in the first place. You know, a lot of the kids, if I recall, they of course used to hate it because, you know, all the boys, they'd go out and play football or soccer, I suppose, if you're American. They go play football, and, you know, obviously you can't really do that inside, and, you know, they like to do physical activities, and you can't really do that inside. But, you know, I wasn't much of a physically active child, I suppose. I liked athletics, but that was basically as far as my sporting desires really went. Like, I didn't mind hockey either, but, you know, kind of, not like I grew disillusioned with it, but I kind of didn't care for it the more we played it. I was kind of good at rugby, surprisingly, for someone who basically didn't play sport, but that, you know, doesn't really amount to much. I didn't really like football, I'll be honest. Sorry for you football fans out there, not my thing. Did like fencing, did like archery, but, well, actually, to be fair, fencing's quite tiring, but archery is just more tiring on the arms, if anything. It's not like you're running about, I suppose, all that time, so it's not like you're out of breath. It's not like a cardio workout, I suppose. Which, to be fair, is probably my weakness. Which is, you might be like, hey, you should probably train it up a bit more. Agi fry, cool. Don't know what that is. But we're getting tons of new recipes this way. At some point, we should look up how to unlock all the recipes and see if we've really got what it takes. If you got what it takes to be #1, we all live. I can't have a normal conversation anymore. Every time I say something and it sounds like the start of a song, my mind just immediately jumps to it, being like, this is it, I need to sing this song right now. Not really. It's not like I'm doing this in real life, I'm just like, well, I do constantly sing songs, but, you know, it's a bit more restrained, I suppose. I like to do it in these sort of videos, mainly because it's just sort of like I need to, there's an innate pressure, I suppose, to say literally the first thing that comes to mind every single time. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I suppose, I'll leave that judgment up to you, but I suppose if you're still here watching this video 24 minutes later, I guess that's a good thing? Oh my god, that sproing was so loud, did you hear it? It was like, I know, what else to talk about? Did I say I've caught up with Campaign 3 Critical Role? it's exciting, I suppose. There's not really much to say about that because I don't really want to spoil things if you are the type to watch it as well. I wonder if these have a higher chance of being whatchamacallits, money balloons with a fortune blessing. Okay, 1 more fish, 3 more bugs, 1 more fish, 3 more bugs. We should try and catch a yellow perch and a bagworm. Not the easiest thing to catch a bagworm, I will be perfectly honest. Those are the ones in the trees. Excuse me, fish. Here, fish, fish, fish. Would you look this way? I'm actually really hungry, surprisingly. I really will go grab a fruit to eat. What fruit would I don't know what we have. Apples, maybe? Can't go wrong with a good apple. Apples and bananas, probably some of the least offensive fruits, I think. You know, there's lots of people out there who don't like certain fruits or do like certain fruits quite a lot. You want to know personally? Well, actually, I think I like. I'm not gonna say I like every fruit, but there's definitely one fruit which comes to mind. Well, I'm gonna say I don't like unless it's like perfectly ripe. And by perfect, I do mean perfectly. I'm not a big fan of kiwis, and I don't think I like melons as much as the average person does. I feel like people go crazy for watermelon. I don't actually mind. I'm like very nonplussed about it. That was a word. I was thinking about a word ages ago, where I was like, my understanding of a definition is opposite for what I thought it meant. Hold on, nonplussed is confused, right? But, sorry, being nonplussed is confused, but it means unperturbed, which means in American, which just means like you're not affected by it, not concerned. I didn't realize, like, I always knew it by the American slang definition. Nonplussed. I didn't realise it had an actual definition where it meant confused. Sorry, that was something I thought about ages ago. I was like, I know there's a word which fits this sort of situation in my mind, but I can't remember what this word was. So, shout out to me, like, I can't remember, it must have been like 50 episodes ago or something when I talked about it. If any of you remember that conversation, do leave a comment. That would be, honestly, for one, extraordinary. I want to catch one more bug. One more bug to our revolution. Why don't we just shake a tree? Alright. Pull up toaster. Well, it's going to shake a tree until we can either get a wasp or a bagworm. That is a bit mean spawning on top of me, but, you know, we did get you in the end. That's got a sting. Do we need to catch another bug? Astonishing. I wonder if we have higher chances of these being bell trees. Well, not bell trees, but, you know, containing bells, I suppose, when you shake them. Seems like it's going to be rather difficult to catch a bagworm. Oh, gosh. That's not a good angle. Oh! I pressed the wrong button! I pressed right bumper. Oh, well. I guess I'll go... Oh, I need to go buy medicine now, because otherwise it's going to look weird in a Happy in Paradise video. I'm just going to talk to my villagers until one of them gives me medicine. That'll probably be the easiest way about things. But we do need to hit these rocks. Hello, Raymond. Hey, it could be worse. Think of it this way. You've got the perfect excuse to stay inside and watch TV for like 3 days. Not very helpful, Raymond. We've got to find, like, Phoebe. Phoebe's almost certainly going to have my back. But first, let's hit these rocks. And see if we actually get a higher chance of golden ore. Which I believe is what I read. But anecdotally, so far, does not seem to be the case. Maybe it wasn't the fortune blessing which gave it out. I don't really remember. I thought it was. But I do seem to remember that the money rock, at least, certainly gives out full payment when you have a fortune charm. Okay, maybe we'll just commit to the money rock. It does not particularly seem like we're going to get more golden ores. I think it must have been a different fortune. Perhaps it was the luck-based one. But we'll find our money rock. Then we'll go to Nooks and we'll buy some. Oh, we still need to catch a bug, to be fair. So I guess this pill bug being here was... Never mind. Oh, paper cut butterfly, come back here. Oh, whatever. We'll see if this actually gives out more money than usual. Or if maybe it's just like selling things grants more money, I don't know. 10,000? I think that's more than normal. Is that more than normal? It doesn't seem more than normal. It seems like normal. Yeah, it just seemed like normal. Right, let's go catch up butterfly. Let's go sell some things. And then we'll round up this episode here. And I'll go record a Happy in Paradise video. Which you will see probably on the 3rd of December. If you, I don't know, if for some reason you're going back, you're someone from the future, you're watching this like a year in the future from when this is uploaded and you want to see exactly which one pairs up with this one, there you go. I mean, if anything, I could just record like 7 episodes or something of Happy in Paradise today and do it all in advance. That seems like a very foolish idea though. So let's go to Nook. So probably going to tell us about the Nook Friday sale, and we're going to be like, stop, plus, and they won't. They'll continue onwards, and we'll be like, no, I already know about the Nook Friday sale. You don't need to tell me. Hold on. I don't recognise this Thanksgiving item. Or the Turkey Day items. We might have had it before, but we're going to buy it anyway. Everything being 30% off. Let's sell some things and see if we get more money than we are expecting. And if we don't, we'll just be like, ah, this game sucks, aren't they? We don't need that. Sell this, sell this. Bamboo flooring. Yeah, we can sell this stuff. Yeah, we'll sell all that. 36,000. 19,000. Terrible. Okay, give me some medicine. We could buy the sushi set as well. Remember when medicine used to only be like a one thing you can purchase each day? I just noticed that I can't remember what these are called, like Nezu Berus or something. That doesn't sound right. They're like a Japanese thing which you like hang to sort of like ward away rain. I swear I call it like Nezu somethings, but I'm pretty sure Nezu is like mouse or something Japanese, or Nezumi. Nezu. Ghosts? Japanese? Botandolo? No. Ghost Japanese. Decorations rain. Teru Bozu. Okay. Close enough. I was like, Nezu doesn't sound right. The Shine Monk. Alright, well, there you go. Anyway, I was going to say, I noticed I got little cat ears on. in Animal Crossing. We're going to round off this episode here, so yeah. If you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me, Darling, Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.